Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Happy holidays, everybody. You know something? I wish moments like these could last for forever. If I had a stopwatch, I think I would freeze these moments in time because Zombies and Descendants have meant so much to our hearts. We love talking about it, so why does this conversation have to end? Why can't this conversation just keep on going for just a little while longer? I think that if you believe that there's going to be a new chapter in Zombies, then you should believe it, and you should continue to follow your passions. And that's all I've ever wanted to encourage by every video that I've uploaded on this YouTube channel. I wanted to create something special for everybody, and I like to believe that somewhere, somehow, I brought everybody that much closer together as friends, and the best of friends, because of Descendants of Zombies. Because I was very appreciative of music videos like Red Christmas from a couple of years ago. I remember that music video premiering around the holidays in November 2 years ago, and how appreciative Kylie Control was to record and produce this music video for her fans, and she was so excited about it. She took to social media, she posted a link about it, she got thousands of views, thousands of likes, and now the Snow Angels music video is its predecessor, coming right behind it with over 35,000 likes and over thousands of views. And if you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube right now. I know the Disney Channel YouTube page has a lot of restrictions on it, so some people can't watch it, but the thing is, it's a beautiful music video. It's 10s across the board. And one thing that I noticed about the music video was how appreciative they were to be in each other's presence. I got that from the Worlds Collide tour this past summer when Malachi Burton threw his arm around Freya Sky and said she was going to be something special. And everybody just fell in love with the chemistry that we saw on the stage at the Worlds Collide tour. I would love to see them go on tour together for Freya Sky and have Malachi Burton perform some of these duets off the Zombies Force Dawn of the Vampires soundtrack, because these are just moments that I wish I could be a part of for forever. I love talking about franchises that I grew up watching, like Hannah Montana and Wizards of Waverly Place, but if there was one franchise that I could go back over and over and over and review, it would be Descendants of Zombies. I wish Disney would call me and make me the host of an official Descendants of Zombies podcast for you guys, because I think a Descendants of Zombies podcast is what people have been demanding and crying out for a very long time, because I get it. The videos that are being uploaded about Descendants of Zombies really have never made any sense or much sense to anybody who's been a fan of Descendants of Zombies, because what you got to realize is that people who are fans of Descendants of Zombies, they are die-hard. They have these never say die on you attitudes, and they know everything there is to know about Descendants of Zombies. So if you're going to talk about Descendants of Zombies, you've got to be really on point, and you've got to let everybody know how you feel about Descendants of Zombies, and talk about it from the point of view of a fan. You've really got to think about the person watching your video, what they want to get the most out of watching your video, and why they clicked on your thumbnail is because they want to know how you feel about Descendants of Zombies. I really do believe there is going to be a Zombies 5. There's no official word from Disney as of right now, but there will be a Zombies 5. Apparently it's going to be a trilogy, and I'm really excited to see this new trilogy and the new characters and the new story and what kind of directions the story will head in, because we have the mermaids coming into the franchise, we have pirates being discussed, we have witches, but I think also with this comes a greater appreciation for supernatural characters, because a lot of radio show hosts on YouTube and their audio files are discussing how Zombies needs to stop production. They're running out of supernatural characters. I've never believed that, and you shouldn't either, because there's such an appreciation for supernatural history that I've studied in high school for years, and because I've had a greater appreciation for the study that goes with supernatural characters and fantasy, there is so much that you can do and offer to this franchise. Like the history of mermaids, there's such a lore with mermaids and so many unpredictable moments they can provide us with. Now, it has not been confirmed that there will be mermaids as the water creature that will be a part of this vortex, but whatever's inside of this thing, I'm incredibly excited to find out what it is. And for some reason, I am the only guy on YouTube that has offered to jump inside of this vortex if the opportunity ever arises to uncover what is the mystery behind this vortex. I've lived on this island for forever, long story short, and there are so many stories associated with pirates and mermaids and sea creatures and sea horses. It's really fun living here, because it really puts into perspective just how valuable life is and how precious time is, because we never know how much time we have. And if I could spend the rest of my life talking about Descendants of Zombies, that is a choice that I wouldn't even think about, because I love talking about it so much, and I know how much it means to each and every one of you. Now, I grew up in a very different generation as a Disney fan. They prided themselves on animation based off their most successful franchises like Aladdin and The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast. I also remember playing the Super Nintendo classic video games of Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King. I go all the way back to when The Lion King was first released in 1994 on the original Super Nintendo video game console. And I remember renting it for the first time, and I was the first guy to rent that game ever and play it. I remember how they rushed it to production because they wanted it released around the same time the movie had been released, and they had this big breakfast promoting the game and the movie. It was so fun, and I remember being one of the first guys to play it, and I remember being a part of every generation of Disney. So I grew up in a very different generation of Disney, but it was so fun to be a part of it, and it's so fun to be a part of this generation, even though I didn't grow up as a fan of Descendants of Zombies. I kind of got into it because of each and every one of you. You guys were telling me to go check out Descendants of Zombies, asking what was wrong with me, and I took your consideration under advisement, and I watched this franchise, and to be honest with you guys, I loved it from the very beginning. I've loved every chapter of the Descendants of Zombies franchise. I think Descendants has always, forever, and always been number one in the hearts of everybody. Zombies is placing a close second, but I think people are just as crazy about Zombies as they were Descendants, because I think this story has forever and always been more unpredictable, because we don't know what's going to happen all the time in Zombies. They keep us guessing, especially at the end of Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires. It was a real cliffhanger presented to us, because we don't know what's inside of this vortex. There are so many sea creatures like sea horses and sea serpents. I would even go for a sea serpent being inside of this vortex. There are so many things that you could predict inside of this vortex, and we've got 3 years to wait. So because we've got 3 years to wait, that only means that I'll just have to upload Descendants of Zombies videos for the rest of my life leading up to the premiere of Zombies 5, because Zombies 5 is going to happen. If there's one thing I've always and forever wanted you to take away from every video that I've ever uploaded on this YouTube channel, is that Zombies 5 is going to happen. And I'll tell you why Zombies 5 is going to happen. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that Zombies 5 does happen for people who believe in it enough. Because you guys have put so much heart and dedication into your passion for Descendants of Zombies. And I see that from the top trends of the searches on YouTube. People are searching up how to draw their favorite Descendants of Zombies characters. People are searching up the visits they take at Disney World all the time. I just saw the Zombies cast actually at a visit at Disney World, and they seem so appreciative of every moment they're a part of. They took some photos down there. It looked beautiful. And I just saw Halloween Fest a couple of weeks ago. Freya Sky was dressed up as Tinkerbell. She was so appreciative of the moment. And I think that every moment that Freya Sky is a part of, that's what makes everything that she does so special. Because I didn't get that from Miley Cyrus. I never saw that from Selena Gomez or Demi Lovato years ago, or even Ashley Tisdale, with how iconic Ashley Tisdale became for the Disney franchise. The thing is, their names are what made them so iconic. They were never really appreciative of the moments until now. You know, people will forever choose to criticize this generation of Disney for its stars and its presentation. But the thing is, they're so appreciative of the moments they're a part of with each and every one of you. And they make you feel as if you're a part of something special like you got from the Worlds Collide Tour, because you guys came out of love and support of your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars this past summer, and you deserved all the respect in the world. You didn't deserve to go home and see these videos being uploaded on YouTube of how some critic felt about how they attended the Worlds Collide Tour and it didn't live up to their expectations, criticizing everything from the ticket prices starting at $200, the quality of the merchandise, anything they could get their hands on to criticize, they did, and they got thousands of views and thousands of likes. And I just wanted to give you guys something far better and far more special to your hearts, and talk about Descendants of Zombies in a way that it's forever and always meant to be talked about. Because when you have people like Kylie Cantrell and Meg Donnelly refusing to YouTube themselves anymore because of how people feel about them, that creates a problem for me. And I've seriously thought about running for President of the United States. I just want to put that out there, because of how Kylie Cantrell's political point of view ended up in a conversation over a year and a half ago. And that's kind of convenient how a guy who was considering running for President of the United States over 20 years ago saw what Kylie Cantrell was being said about her. And, you know, I took it under advisement, because in all honesty, guys, no matter how somebody feels about somebody, that doesn't take away their success that Kylie Cantrell has seen. And she deserves to be feeling proud of herself, because she not only deserves to feel proud of herself for what she's done, she's inspired millions of people. People see themselves through the eyes of this character, Red, and I think Kylie Cantrell sees herself through the eyes of the character she portrays, because because ever since donning the character Red, she's done it with so much heart and so much dedication, far more dedication than Dove Cameron or Sophia Carson ever brought to the set of Descendants of Zombies. I think their rarity has everything to do with their names, but when it comes to heart and dedication, Kylie Cantrell is light years ahead of stars like Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson, who unquestionably meant so much to this franchise. But when you talk about heart and dedication, Kylie Cantrell is the definition of that. And Freya Sky is coming right behind her at just 16 years old with thousands of views on Vivo, tens across the board. She's obviously the next Disney pop star, and I think we've got to be more supportive of that. And I think people show their love and support for Freya Sky all the time. This music video had over 35,000 likes in less than 1 hour. I was watching it all day yesterday, and I was watching the progression and the ascension of this music video, and this is just the beginning of how much reviews these music videos are going to receive. I remember a couple of years prior to this, the Red Christmas music video received all this criticism, and it didn't deserve to be criticized. And I remember how the Place to Be music video this past summer received so much criticism without even giving it a chance. I think if more people gave it a chance, they would see a greater appreciation for this music video and what the true meaning behind these music videos have forever and always been. These music videos have always meant friendship is more precious than ever given consideration for. And I think that because Freya Sky and Malachi Burton have been forever and always appreciative of each other and been appreciative of the moments they share together, being the best of friends, that's what makes these music videos all worth it and so enjoyable to watch and so enjoyable for me to review. I can really post thousands of videos on the Snow Angels music video, and I think I'm going to do that all throughout this holiday season because I love the festive times of year. I love seeing them dress up as their favorite characters on Halloween and being a part of Halloween Fest, and of course the Disney Channel Christmas Day Parade, and it's just so fun being a part of it. I remember years ago watching the Disney Channel Christmas Day Parade, and I saw a performance of Jessica Simpson and Miley Cyrus. They shared the stage together, and it was just an incredible moment because that was the first time I had ever saw Miley Cyrus perform and discovered who Miley Cyrus was. And Miley has forever and always held a special place in my heart because of moments like these, because Jessica Simpson was really an iconic figure years ago, and seeing her become so popular because of her success with Disney and then Miley Cyrus following in her footsteps, it was a wonderful time to be a Disney fan. And I think more than ever now is a better time to be a fan of Disney because in all honesty, guys, Disney has never been more colorful and more inspirational through its messages, through its powerful storylines. I mean, this is a franchise that's really gold for everybody to take full advantage of. And I really, if you're looking for a moment to be a part of in history, this is your time to shine. And I think that if you have a passion for Descendants of Zombies, and that could come in the form of collecting the dolls, that could come in the form of drawing your favorite Descendants characters, because I've noticed one of the top trends on YouTube right now is how to draw your favorite Descendants of Zombies characters. Some of you are very talented when it comes to Descendants of Zombies and putting your passions on display, and I have to give you credit where credit is due and show you the respect that you deserve, because in all honesty, I know no other YouTube creator out there is going to show you the respect that you deserve. So I just want to let you guys know that I love how you're so passionate about Descendants of Zombies. You're leaving comments all the time. You're always hitting my like button, letting me know you love these videos, because that's what makes making these videos for me as a YouTube creator all worth it. I'm so excited every time around Christmas because I get to talk about everything Disney has going on in Disney World and seeing your favorite stars from Descendants of Zombies being a part of it. This is exactly what I wanted to have happen for them. I wanted to give them all the praise and all the gratitude in the world that they deserved, because I know that a lot of people just choose to criticize and make fun of the Descendants of Zombies franchises, and there are really no need of that, because I think that what we have to do is we have to outshine every critic every single time that a video like that is uploaded and give more of a chance and show the respect to these music videos that they deserve. Because I'm going to tell you guys something. If I was the writer and producer and director behind Descendants of Zombies, I would make sure personally every year there would be money financed to make sure there are music videos produced around the holidays, to make sure they have a float for the Christmas Day Parade. If I was president of the United States, I would personally send money to Disney to make sure that this stuff will be produced for each and every one of you because of how much you believe in it and how you've never ever quit on your favorite stars. You want Freya Sky to be in the position she's in. You want her to be a superstar, and you want her to never be forgotten. So because you never want her to be forgotten, I think people need to make it happen. And people need to realize what you love and who you appreciate. Because right now it's more clear to me than it ever has been before that you love Freya Sky so much. So let's give her the praise and show her the gratitude that she deserves, instead of choosing to criticize her because of how some music video may have been produced a couple of months ago, or how this Snow Angels music video is faring right now on YouTube. The reason why this music video has gotten thousands of views within less than 24 hours is because everybody loves it. Everybody loves Freya Sky. There's just something about her name and her image that fits perfectly with everything Disney is trying to promote. I know she's young and she still has a long way to go, but that's what's so fun being a fan of her is, because she still has a long way to go. And we're going to be what that means is we're going to be a part of every single moment that Freya Sky is going to be a part of with each and every one of us. So we're watching the beginning of her career from the beginning to its end, and we're going to see it through. And if there's one guy on YouTube that's going to see it through and talk about Freya Sky the way she's meant to be always talked about, it's going to be this guy, because I've taken bullets for you guys behind the scenes more than you've ever realized, because I've done a lot for Descendants of Zombies. I've become the voice of Descendants of Zombies because you guys have chosen me to be your voice of Descendants of Zombies. And again, I really wish that Disney would call me and offer me the opportunity to be the voice of Descendants of Zombies, to be the voice behind a podcast, because if you can invest $5.2 million behind a Marvel podcast that they have every Wednesday off Marvel.com, you can do the same thing for Descendants of Zombies. I mean, they even have a Mickey Mouse podcast. And I think that if you can have a Mickey Mouse podcast or you can have a Marvel podcast, you can do the same thing for Descendants of Zombies. It would get millions of subscribers if they had a host of a show who was dedicated to talking about Descendants of Zombies, because I've shown so much heart and so much dedication for these franchises, because I've forever and always believed that you guys have deserved far better reviews and your stars have deserved far better appreciation than they've ever been shown. Now, you guys have done a fabulous job supporting your favorite stars. There's a reason why you love Freya Sky so much. It could have everything to do with her fashion. It could have everything to do with her style and her presentation. But I think at least 95% of the conversations about Freya Sky are happening because of the heart and the dedication she's putting behind everything that she does. And you can really see that in her music videos. I may just be a sucker for Freya Sky, but the thing is, I really do see the heart and the dedication that she is putting behind everything that she does, and I wish that more stars of the past that I had the honor of reviewing would have had that same heart and that same dedication. I think Freya Sky is somebody that we can all learn from, and I'm just so honored to talk about her. And I think that if we're going to talk about Freya Sky, we should be saying nice things about her, and we should be giving her more of a chance than many of us have chosen to take on her. Because I think that there will forever and always be these die-hard fans of Miley Cyrus and Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez from that generation, because Wizards Beyond Waverly Place has thousands of fans too that have subscribed to their conversations all throughout social media. But I think that this new generation has really evolved into something spectacular because of Descendants of Zombies and what it offers, and I'm just so excited to be a part of it. And I look forward to being a part of it for the foreseeable future, because there is a future for Descendants of Zombies, especially the Zombies franchise when you talk about supernatural characters, because there are thousands of supernatural characters. Why people say they're running into supernatural characters for the Zombies franchise is because they don't have a greater appreciation for the supernatural lore or never have studied it. I studied it for years, so when it comes to vampire conversations and werewolves and zombies and aliens, I can talk about being beamed up by an alien mothership for forever because I know everything there is to know about it. And I remember how crazy people were about Star Trek and Star Wars. The reason why everybody was so crazy about Star Wars was because there were so many characters. I think there was something like 150 characters from the Star Wars franchise, so you could create so many storylines about Luke Skywalker. I'll never forget that scene years ago in that Star Wars movie with the lightsaber. Luke, I am your father. You know, I think there is a greater appreciation for everything that goes with, you know, aliens and Star Wars and Star Trek and aliens and getting beamed up. I love watching these documentaries where people think they've been abducted by aliens, and take it from a guy who's been trying to get abducted by aliens for years. It is extremely difficult to do it. I would love to see aliens have more of a significance in the Zombies franchise. Apparently what they are suggesting is that every character that has seen an introduction into the Zombies franchise over the years, from werewolves to zombies to aliens and vampires, are going to have something to do with Zombies 5. So all these characters are going to be thrown into the mix, which makes for a very unpredictable storyline and a fun time for everybody who ever said they were a fan of Descendants of Zombies. And I'm just excited to be a part of it, because I remember how crazy everybody was about Twilight. I saw how crazy everybody was about the Vampire Diaries and how big of a fan Freya Sky was of the Vampire Diaries. She loved that so much. So why can't we, as critics and journalists, love it just as much as what she does? I would love to talk to Freya Sky about the Vampire Diaries, because I watched every single episode of the Vampire Diaries. If there were 200 episodes to be watched of that series, I watched it. Right up from the very beginning when the Salvatore brothers had all this confliction over Elena, and then eventually Stefan got married to Caroline. That was an emotional time. And then he sacrificed himself for the greater good. There's always the question of what could happen if Stefan ever came back, or what happens if Zed and Addison ever come back to the Zombies franchise. Just because they're saying goodbye now doesn't mean that they're saying goodbye for forever. And just because they've never said that they love each other in the movie when you talk about Victor and Nova, that doesn't mean that they don't, because they show it all the time in their actions. It doesn't matter about your age. It doesn't matter about how people feel about it. It's all about how they feel about themselves and how appreciative they are of the moments they share together. So I think that, you show it all the time in your actions, and they obviously show it. You don't really have to say that you love somebody and come out publicly about it. They're just so appreciative of each other. And that's what I get every single time that I upload a video about Freya Skye and Malachi Burton. And that's what I want the world to know, because I've forever and always been appreciative of these moments that I've had to share with each and every one of you, regardless of how many subscribers I put up on this YouTube channel, how many likes I get, because it's obvious to me that this YouTube channel is just as popular as the Disney Channel Music YouTube page, and I don't know why. I guess it has everything to do with the way that I present these videos and how I can break down these franchises the way they've forever and always been to be broken down and analyzed. I've been referred to as a Descendants analyst before. The reason why I know everything there is to know about Descendants and Zombies is because I studied it after I was told to go home and watch Descendants and Zombies one night on Halloween. And that night that I was sent home to watch Descendants and Zombies, I must have stayed up till 3 a.m. till the sun was coming up, looking up your favorite soda, your favorite stars, and what they loved about life, what they didn't love so much about life, what their favorite colors were. I knew everything about your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars from the original franchise and this new franchise more than ever before. And I was so appreciative of the moments that I got to share with each and every one of you, and hearing your stories about Descendants and Zombies. You leave in the comments all the time how you're all subscribed to these different providers because of Disney Plus in your area just to watch Zombies and Descendants. If you're passionate about it, just continue to follow your passion, regardless of how people feel about you being a fan of Descendants and Zombies, because being a fan of Descendants and Zombies, there is nothing wrong with it, and it's cool. And I love talking about Descendants and Zombies because I love hearing about your passions and, what's brought us all together and what's made us fans of these franchises that I've forever and always been supportive of. And you see it right there. I've almost been talking about Descendants and Zombies for a half hour. So when it comes to a writer and producer coming up with an idea or a concept to introduce into the Zombies franchise, it's all about how much they believe in the concept they're trying to introduce and thinking it's going to work. I think there's been a lot of doubt in the minds of writers and producers if anything would ever work when it comes to the Zombies franchise, but trust me, anything could work at this point because everybody's just crazy about Descendants and Zombies. If I were in a board meeting with 500 people from Disney, I would say, how are we going to make this work? I would present all your guys' ideas onto the table and say, how are we going to make this work? Because we have to make sure this franchise continues on and has a legacy. Because that's exactly what I'm here to do. Not only have I wanted to have a legacy for being one of the greatest of all time, I too have wanted to have your favorite stars have a legacy that they would never ever be forgotten because of. Because my greatest fear has always been, I'll tell you a secret, to be forgotten about. And I never ever want to be forgotten about. I like to believe that through the power of YouTube, I will never ever be forgotten about how I used to sit down with you guys and talk about my passion for Descendants and Zombies and really leave a legacy behind, because in the end, that's all we're ever left with. And I think that Legends in the Making was a perfect song that really put that into perspective about how valuable time is and what we do with the time that we're allocated, because we never know how much time we have. But if there are moments that I wish I could live over and over again, it would be to fall in love with these franchises all over again and talk about them, because they deserve to be talked about in so many emphatic ways. And I've just never felt more honored to be in your guys' presence to discuss all things Descendants and Zombies, because when we're talking about these franchises, we feel as if we're a part of something special, and we think all dreams could become a reality, and we're that much closer to every one of our dreams than ever before. And when you finally sit back and realize that a dream happened for you and came into fruition, that's the greatest feeling in the world, and I'm just so honored to be a part of it. So if you're a fan of, say, Addison, or you're a fan of Nova, then more power to you. I love how you guys collect the dolls too, and you're really passionate about that, I have to say that. And when I saw people like Ruby Rose Turner and Kylie Control unboxing their dolls for the first time ever getting a look at them, they were so appreciative of it because they realized they had gotten to a moment where they would forever be immortalized. Because when you become an action figure or a doll, you realize that you're leaving a legacy behind, and there's no greater feeling in the world. And I've just never felt more honored to be in your guys' presence to talk about things like the Snow Angels music video, and I've got a whole lot more to say where this one goes, and I will upload a new video tomorrow where I'll talk more about the Snow Angels music video, because by then there'll be even more likes and even more views and even more reviews. But guys, what you got to do is not pay attention to the critics and how they want to make you feel about the Snow Angels music video, because what it comes down to is how you feel about the Snow Angels music video. So, for example, if you love blasting it, if you love the theme, if you love the lyrics, if you love the melody, open up your windows, blast it like crazy, let everybody know you're a fan of it, be very passionate about it. You know, years ago, I used to live across the road from a girl who was very passionate about Hannah Montana. She was probably about 7 years old. And every morning at 9 a.m. before she'd get ready to go to school, between 8:30 and 9 a.m., she would blast the Best of Both Worlds theme song. And she did it because she loved it, because she was very passionate about Hannah Montana. So I have this to say to everybody who is passionate about the Descendants of Zombie soundtracks. If you're passionate about the songs, if you're passionate about the Christmas-themed songs like Red Christmas and Snow Angels, its predecessor, then keep on believing in it, because there's so much more of a legacy to be told and to be witnessed, and we're just a part of history, and we've got to enjoy these moments while they last, because nothing lasts for forever. We all know that. But there's no reason why we can't believe in something actually lasting for forever. And that's what I forever and always wanted to encourage and wanted you to take away from every video that I've ever uploaded on this YouTube channel. Guys, thank you so much for watching this. Thank you so much for allowing me to have been a part of all of your lives for what feels like forever, because this is a conversation that doesn't have to end, that I never want to be over, because life is that much sweeter when all of us are, and all we got to do in the foreseeable future is to stay calm and zombie on. Take it from a guy who lives near a soda plantation and a chemical plant that I know could explode at any given moment, but I'm just so appreciative of these moments that I got to share with each and every one of you. It's been the greatest honor of my life, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, because it goes a long way for this YouTube channel and for me. Thank you guys so much. We'll talk about Descendants of Zombies again in the foreseeable future, which I'm really excited to be a part of.